Are you thinking of moving to Berthoud? And you're thinking of moving to Berthoud because you want to get away from the big city because you want some acreage. You want some room. You're tired of being crammed in next to everybody where you can barely walk between houses. You want to be able to throw a baseball between houses. If that's you, keep watching because I'm going to talk about 4 different neighborhoods that you might want to consider that will get you some acreage. Hi, my name is Jamie Eklund and I'm a realtor here in the beautiful state of Colorado. On this channel, we talk about the different cities in Colorado and we look at their neighborhoods. It's geared towards people who are wanting to move into the state, but they don't know where to move to and they need some help navigating the different cities and different neighborhoods. What are their options? Those are the questions they're asking. And so if that's you, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and hit that like button. That would be awesome. Now, I answer questions from people all the time who are asking, what is life like in Colorado? What are the different cities like? What is the different neighborhoods like? Now, I try to answer those as best as I can. I want to be a resource for people who are thinking of moving into the state. So if that's you, give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'd love to connect with you and I'd love to help you as you make such a big decision. Now today we are going to be looking at Acreage Properties. I can't tell you how many people I have talked to throughout the years who are thinking, I want to have a little bit more than just a little elbow room. I want some acreage. Maybe I want a horse or some goats or some chickens. I just want the space so I am not so close to my neighbors. If that's you, we're going to look at 4 different neighborhoods today. All right, so the first neighborhood that we are going to look at is the HAUUTHA Hills neighborhood. Now, most of these neighborhoods are pretty small, and this is probably one of the smaller ones. It's like 15, 20 homes. So, I mean, it's tiny. So there's not a lot of these houses that come up very often, but it's a fun little community. And most of these places are really kind of fun communities. It really depends on what you want, but they're still going to get you a few acres, not a huge amount of acreage, but just enough to where if you want a big shop or you just want the space from your neighbors, this is a good neighborhood for you. Now, they don't allow horses in this particular neighborhood. And so if you're looking for livestock, that kind of thing, this may not be the place for you. But if you're looking for just the space between neighbors, then this is something you might want to consider. Now, along with all these other neighborhoods, HAUUTHA Hills is not a cheap neighborhood. You're going to be looking between $1 to $3 million to get yourself into one of these houses. So most acreage properties here in northern Colorado, they are just going to be expensive neighborhoods. So you just have to kind of accept that. And that is one of the things that HAUUTHA Hills is kind of known for, is some of the price tags. So if that's you though, if you don't mind that price tag and you just want the space, you want a big garage with a really big, nice house, a newer house. I mean, these are not brand new houses, but they're newer than, the early 80s to today. So that's kind of the time frame in which they were built, but they will still give you that space. Now, if you're looking for something that may be a little bit cheaper, not a ton, but a little bit cheaper, then Harvest Heights might actually be a good place for you. Now, again, they don't really have livestock over in this area. So if you're looking for livestock, this probably isn't the place for you. But some of the houses you can actually get for like the mid 700s. So you can get property over in this neighborhood considerably cheaper than HAUUTHA. That being said, there's still like 20, 25 homes in this neighborhood. So there's not a lot of properties. There's not a lot of options for different people. But when a property like this comes on the market, you better snatch it up because they do go pretty fast. Now, maybe you want some horses and a goat or some chickens or stuff like that. I'm not exactly sure what you can have here, but you can have horses. And if that's you, maybe the Sleepy Hollow neighborhood would be a good option for you. You can have horses over there. It's more agricultural. So you have some of those different options. And so if that's the reason why you want to buy some acreage, then you may want to check out this neighborhood. Now, it's still not a very big neighborhood, you're looking at like 15 homes, so really not big at all. And the price point on this neighborhood starts at about 1.5 million and goes up to, probably around 3 million. So there's not a lot of homes that come on the market, but it does cater to some of the more agricultural people. And so if that's you, keep an eye on this neighborhood, because when properties come on, it does go pretty fast. Now, maybe you want to be just a little bit closer to the foothills, and you want maybe a little bit bigger of a neighborhood while still having your acreage in the neighborhood. If that's you, then Rainbow Lake Estates might be a good option for you. Now, price point here starts at about 1.2, so they're not cheap not cheap homes in this neighborhood, and they'll go all the way up to 5 million plus. So there's some really, really nice houses in this neighborhood. It's a really well done neighborhood. It's, like I said, very close to the foothills, and the HOA does a good job of managing it. And so if those are some of the aspects that you're looking for, you want a really nice house, you want to have a shop or something on it. It doesn't really allow horses, and so it's not catered to the agricultural side of things, but it still has the acreage. If that's what you're looking for, then Rainbow Lake Estates may be a good option for you. Now, the way Berthoud is laid out is there is a lot of different acreage properties, and a lot of them aren't necessarily in incorporated neighborhoods. And so if you're looking for something that doesn't have an HOA and allows horses and pigs and chickens and goats and all that kind of stuff, you don't have those restrictions, then let me know, because we can still find property that meets that requirement. They're just not going to be in some of these incorporated neighborhoods. I'm also going to put a relocation guide down in the description. If you're thinking about moving to Colorado, but you haven't quite decided yet, download that. It's jam-packed full of information that I thought would be helpful to people as they process the decision whether they should move to Colorado or not.